What's going on, everyone? SuperAndrew64 here. In today's video, I have something a little different to show you. I'm so excited to show you this, and I want to thank Beloader for sending me this to review. I'm so excited. I've never had a product like this before. This is the Besavior for the DualSense. So I'm just going to open it up. So just the regular PlayStation 5 controller, but on the back, you'll notice there is a back button attachment. So it is called the Besavior, and there are 4 paddles here. And they were nice enough to provide me with this case, and there's a few cables that come with it, a USB-C cable and a USB-C Type A adapter. I'm going to go over what these are used for later. So here is the star of the show. We have the attachment. So just comparing it to a regular non-modded PS5 controller. So flipping it over, you can see where the Besavior is attached, and this is a permanent mod. It's not, I cannot take it off or anything like that. So as you can see, it goes right here. So first I'm going to go over the paddles themselves. On the back here you have 4 paddles. They are numbered P1, P2, P3, and P4. And they're placed very well. So they are right here. So if I cue up a little bit, they're in the perfect spot. You don't have to like move your finger or anything when you're holding the controller naturally. It feels very good. The placement of these are very, very well. And then on the top here you have a USB-C port. Now, this is mainly for firmware updates. There are other uses of it that I'll go over later. So I have the controller on right now, and this is an LCD screen. So to activate it, just push this check mark button here, and you can go through the options. So there's mapping, which means you can remap buttons. Turbo function, pretty self-explanatory. Auto turbo, I'll explain what that is after. Combination, now that just means macro. Learning, that just means recording. For multi-sets, there's different profiles you can do. Bluetooth, I'll explain what that is later. Language, you can change the language. And then factory reset, which is basically, restoring the controller to its factory reset. So now I'm going to show you each of these functions of the Besavior in action. Now, just a quick disclaimer, I do not have a PlayStation 5, so I'm going to be using these on the Switch. I have an adapter right here. It's the big one, R100. Which is going to make it work on my Nintendo Switch. So I've actually reviewed this product before, so I'll leave a card running up in the top right corner there. So again, don't have a PS5. I'm going to be showcasing most of the features on Super Smash Bros. I feel that Smash is a great game to showcase all these features in this really cool product. So let's get right into the video. So right now I have the DualSense plugged into my computer with the USB-C cable they have provided. The first feature I'm going to show you is the mapping feature. So to activate the menu, all you do is you press the checkmark button on the Besavior here. And right now you're going to select which one you want. So we're going to do mapping. So you press the checkmark button again. Now you can actually remap. Now the buttons you can remap on this controller are the face buttons here. So square, triangle, circle, and X. And then the back paddles on the back. And you can also map R1, R2, L1, and L2. By default, the back paddles are mapped to the trigger buttons right here. So if I just get out of the menu quickly. So if you see, I'm pushing the back buttons there on the input viewer. Nice little clicky sound to it too, which I like. So see, it's hitting the trigger. So P1 is R1, P2 is R2, P3 is L1, and P4 is L2. I had to think about that for a second. So to remap, it's really simple. So again, push the checkmark again. So pick which one you want. So we're going to remap the back paddle here. We'll remap P1 to X. So you can actually remap any other face button on here. So if you want to, I'll show you what I mean. So you can do the PlayStation button, the capture button, the menu button, the touchpad button, X, circle, square, triangle, up on the D-pad, right, down, and left, and then L1, R1, L2, and R2, L3, and R3. So you can't map any button on here. It's only the face buttons and the paddles on the back, but you can map them to any other button on the controller. So we'll just make P1X, and then we'll do P3 circle. Make it pretty simple just to show you, and you can see on the input viewer. So then all you just do, it's already saved, so you just press back and it turns off, press it twice and it turns off the menu. So if I hit P1, then you can see the X button highlighting, and then P3, and if you see P3, then the circle button is now being highlighted. So that's a really cool feature that could be used in a lot of like games like first person shooters, maybe some fighting games. to remap some maybe command inputs there. And so let's go over the next feature. So right now I have Super Smash Bros. Ultimate loaded on my Nintendo Switch, and once again I'm using the big one R100 adapter to use my PS5 controller on the Nintendo Switch. So the next feature I'm going to show you is Turbo. So it is the second option in the menu. So what you're gonna do, so what this does is basically when you hold down a button, it's gonna be like you're pressing it repeatedly like that. So we're gonna put Turbo on. We're gonna put Turbo on circle here, which is gonna be Luigi's special. Or we're gonna put Turbo on X here, which is Luigi's special. So with Luigi, when you do down special, you have to mash repeatedly to get more height with his Cyclone. So we're gonna set that. So what these numbers mean is basically how fast you want it to be pressed. 0.5 being the lowest. Then we have 1, 1.5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, 15, 20, 25. So I'm going to do it at 25, show you how fast this really mashes. So now I'm going to do down and X. So you see how high Luigi goes, and I'm not even mashing. You're supposed to really be doing this when you do his down special. But you see how fast he goes? This is the fastest setting. So I'm just going to change it to the slower setting too now. So we'll just change that to... Alright, so now it's on 0.5, so let's see how fast that goes. So now it's on... See, it's not even like it's faster if I do this. Yeah, see? So the 0.5 really doesn't really do anything. So if you really want to get that turbo function, you can do 25, which is super fast. So the next feature I'm going to go over is the auto turbo function. So we're going to go into the auto turbo menu again. So pressing the check mark. So what this means is basically you hit a button one time and it's going to be like it's hitting the button more times in a row. So what that means is, so we're going to do X again, which is Luigi's Fireball. So we'll turn that on and we'll do the fastest setting again, which is 25. So basically what that means, so if I just hold this, so I'm not even pushing the button anymore, it's just doing it automatically. So pretty useful feature. To make it stop, you just hit the button again. It's pretty simple like that. So the next feature I'm going to show is a labeled combination, which basically means macros. So with me and my control scheme, I use these two buttons to do a smash attack. So you see Luigi's doing a smash attack there. Oops, I still have the auto turbo on, but that's okay. So these two buttons, smash attack. To do it, again, hit the check mark again. So we're gonna make X. We're gonna make X hit X and O at the same time. So we got X and then O, and then the other buttons you can actually do. You can do any of the face buttons again. So there we go. So now we got it set. So whenever I press X now, whenever I press X, it's gonna be a smash attack. Pretty simple. Yeah, I don't know what games you can use this for, but again, you guys are smart, you can figure this out. So with Smash, you can do A-B Smash, which is basically this. So the next feature I'm going to show you is the learning feature, which just basically means it records your inputs. And this also works with the sticks and all the buttons on the controller. So what you do is you press check mark again. So what this means is, so the button you want to map. So we're going to map P1, which is the paddle. And so this means you're going to play. So we'll just hit the check mark again. So now there's a number there. So every time I do an input, the number is going to go down. There's a lot of storage here. There's like 38,000 inputs, I believe. So, and I believe it says right there. So I'm just going to do some inputs. And you can probably do this for a few minutes if you really need to. So this would probably be good if you need to like walk around something on a quest in a mission for something. I know in I think Pokemon, one of the Pokemon games, you have to spin around in a circle, so you could probably use this for it. So then when you're done, you press back, and then the other features here. So this means to delete the recording you just had, and then this one here, that means you play it once, loop it, and doesn't play at all when you press the button. So we'll just do it once. So let's go back. So then we'll press P1 here. See, I'm not doing anything, it's doing my inputs. I did it for that long, okay. So then when I change it back, if I do it to the loop here, it's gonna do it for, it's just gonna keep looping. So there, I'm not doing anything. So it should do another loop after that's over. So the next one here is multi-sets. I feel like I don't really have to go over this one at all, just because this is like different profiles. So right now I'm on config 1, so there's 4 different profiles to pick from. So if you have like 4 different games you want to customize your controls for, you can just load them up. It's really simple. So all you just do is you pick the config, press the check mark button, and you're good to go. The next feature I'm going to show you is the Bluetooth feature. So what this means is that via Bluetooth you can connect another controller to this controller. Well, what that means is if you have an Xbox controller or let's say a Nintendo Switch controller you want to use on your PS5, then you can do that. So what you do is you go to the Bluetooth menu, press check mark again, keep off, and then you switch that to this time on. So then you exit out again. So here I have an Xbox Series controller. We're going to put it into pairing mode. So just wait for it to there. So it's been paired. So now I'm able to use this controller on Luigi now. You can use another controller on your PS5. That doesn't have to be a DualSense. If you like the design of the DualShock 4, you can use it on your PS5 with this controller mod. So the next feature is language. Unfortunately, there's only 2 languages to choose from. You have English, and I believe that is Japanese or Chinese. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not very well versed in the Asian languages, so you only have 2 languages to choose from. Kind of wish there was more, but I'm sure that can be fixed with a firmware update. And then the last feature is Restore Factory, which basically means it's very self-explanatory. If you want to reset everything to factory defaults, you just do that. And you just do it by check mark, it's been restored. So now that I've gone over all the features of this mod for the DualSense, I want to go over some things I don't really like and some things that can be changed. So the first big thing is wording of menu options. So for example, combination, I feel that should be changed to macros. And learning should be changed to recording. I'm sure that's probably something that was lost in translation, but I'm sure they can fix this with a firmware update. Multi-sets, maybe that too. Maybe change that to profiles as well. Just a quick, simple solution just to get the wording a little bit better on this. And then the other thing is I need to be able to map more buttons. So when I go back into the mapping menu here, I wish you could map more than just the face buttons here and the triggers. I wish you could map the touchpad, the PS button, which I find kind of odd because you can map any button. So if I wanted to map L1 to the PS button, I could do that, which is I find really strange. So if you see, if I want to map L1 to PS, I'm not sure why I can't do it the other way around. So I think that probably can be changed with another firmware update. Again, there's probably other logistical things I don't know about. I don't know anything about like controller like modifications myself, so I'm not too sure. But if it's just a simple firmware update, I would like to see that being added. And then the other thing I really want to see in this is more profiles. I believe 4 is not enough because I know a lot of people like to play different games, and I can see a lot of games that will benefit from this mod. So if there's any way they can add more than 4 profiles, I think that would be a great plus for consumers. The other thing I don't kind of like about this is when using this in a Bluetooth mode with another controller, I feel a lot of delay. Like it's borderline, it's not unplayable, like it's still like it's manageable, but I notice it. So as a like competitive Super Smash Bros player, lag to me is important. A minimal lag is important to me, and I noticed that a lot when I played when I connected my Xbox Series 1 controller to this mod here. So it honestly just feels off with the delay, and I just wish I hope that can be fixed with a firmware update. I forgot to mention about the extra USB-C port in the back of the Besavior here. Like I said before, it is used for firmware updates, but they also claim you can plug in other wired controllers with it. I tried so many different wired controllers. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but I could not get it to work. And they also claim you can do a keyboard mouse. Those did not work for me. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but hopefully in the final version this is fixed. So just putting a quick disclaimer for that. Another thing I kind of don't like about this is that when I'm in menu mode, the buttons still function inside the game. So if you notice throughout the video, when I was changing through menus, Luigi was doing his taunts like all the time. So whenever I pressed up and down, again, the D-pad still works. So if there's any way to turn that off, because I know when you're in the menu, all the other buttons don't work. in game. It just works in the menu, but for some reason the D-pad just doesn't get shut off. I hope that can be fixed, maybe in a firmware update. So another thing I feel that could be improved upon with this product is the learning function, specifically with hard inputs. So in Super Smash Bros. To run, you have to do a hard input to the right here. So if you see hard input, Luigi's running, hard input again. But on the recording feature, it does not recognize that. So I'll show it to you right now. So learning, we'll do recording. So let's do running side to side. Okay, so then it's recorded. So let's do it on loop. And so I'm going to press X. Press X now. So you see it doesn't really recognize it. So I feel like that could be improved upon, because really having like hard inputs is crucial in some games. Now the last thing I like to see a change with this mod is the languages. I feel there should be more than 2 languages than English and this other one. Yeah, honestly, I really feel like that's possible with the firmware update. So hope in the final product there is more languages so that the world can enjoy this really good product. And overall, I think this is a great little product. I've never had anything like this before. I was so excited to open this up. I didn't know they were going to send me a whole controller too. I literally thought it was just like something you stick on the back of the controller. But I'm happy to say, like, this is a great product. So there's 2 actually versions of this you can get. You can get a one that with the DualSense that's already made for you. It'll ship it to you. It's about $150 US. And then there's a one you can do yourself, which is about $60 US. If you're very savvy with modding and you want to save almost the 90 bucks, you can do the modding yourself. But if you're like me, you have no idea how to mod things, hook you up, and they will send you a whole controller and do it all for you. So this is Super Andrew 64 signing off. Have yourselves a 1-up day. Let me know what you thought about this product in the comments below. I'm probably going to be using this a lot. Especially like when Spider-Man games, I can pretend I'm doing like a little web slinger there. So that'll be kind of cool. So let me know what you guys think. Have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next video.